Most often asked question is, why did I select a Doberman or a Belgian Shepherd over other available breeds, or even for that matter Rajapalayam over other available breeds. This question has been asked of me time and again, and it requires a very well thought out answer. So I'll try and answer this in bits and pieces, and then I'm going to stitch it all together and make a video out of it, because I don't think I can deliver all the salient points in one go, but here is my attempt. So the first thing I do when I want a dog is I make a list of 10 things that I look for in a dog. This list is different for each individual. For me, health is very, very important. So I want my dog to be very healthy and live a long life. Second thing is, it has to be able to live in the climatic conditions that I am living in. This is very important. Then extreme level of trainability is very important for me, because I enjoy training my dogs. Then I want the dog to be somewhat small. I don't want a big dog. So I have a list of 10 things. And of these 10 things, the first 3 or 4 things are non-negotiable, which means that I will not compromise on those first 3 points. For example, health, its ability to live in hot conditions, and ability of being trained, the dog's ability to absorb training is very important for me. I cannot negotiate on these 3. Then as I go down the list, appearance and all that, I don't really care about it, but if it is there way down in the list, and I am willing to negotiate on that. So each person must first make a list of the things that they look for in a dog before they buy a dog. So this is the first step. You have to take a piece of paper and write down what are all the things that are important. So, and it is also important that the person writing the list is sane. If you are a child or something, you will come up with the wrong list. So an adult with a calm and rational mind must first make up the list. So this is step number 1. So the question that comes to most people's mind is, you had a Doberman, now why did you switch over to Belgian Shepherd? Because I have been facing, touch wood, with Helga there is no problem, but with Sada I had lots of health problems with him. He was an extremely intelligent dog. I cannot say enough good things about him. He was just the perfect dog for me, except for the fact that people didn't care about, and that too, he supposed to be, an imported dog and all that is nonsense actually. But he had a heart problem, and it's very difficult for me. Just from an operational standpoint, let us look at it from an operational standpoint. I train a dog for 2 years. It takes at least it takes at least 2 years for a dog to be trained fully, and after that I expect that dog to be with me at least for 8 years functionally. But if the dog is going to be around only for 3 or 4 years after that, it's not good, just purely from an operational standpoint, and also from an emotional standpoint. It just hurts you to no end to lose a child like that at a young age. So I did not want to go with the Doberman, because here is the thing, if show people get hold of any dog, the chances are that they will run it into the ground, especially in India. This is because they have no intention of breeding any character or any working ability or health into the dog. That person's aim is to breed the next best looking dog. If a 26-inch dog wins this time, then it has to be a 27-inch dog next time, and then it has to be a 28-inch dog next time. Then they'll say, oh, its head is like this. So it is a never. Then the next competition, the head should be even more bigger, or whatever their obsession is, I don't know. But they have some unhealthy obsession with the way a dog looks, and then they ruin the breed. And any breed that has been in Indian hands for a minimum of 10 years, especially in the show ring, you can think of it as pretty much done. So this is the problem I had with the Doberman. Every time I look at a Doberman, it reminds me of my Sada, but I was not brave enough to take that risk again. However, I have to mention that the same thing is happening with Belgian Shepherds as well. Right now I can see it. Now apparently this black mask and black chest is a craze here in India. And people are just nuts. But so far the breed has been here in India only for a short period of time and it has not been ruined hard enough. At least I'm placing my bets on it. I don't know, only time will tell. But from what I see, not many rich people have gotten their hands on this breed, thanks to the fact that they are not a calm breed. So unlike other docile breeds, usually what people do is these rich people, they just buy these dogs and cage them, and to them the dog is just something through which they can express their power and their ability to influence things. So when the dog goes to such people, what happens is they don't have time to interact with the dog, or they don't have it in them to interact with the dog. All they are interested in is what they see. So they want a more dramatic looking dog, or if it is brown they want it black, if it is black they want it brown. Even with the Doberman, the Isabella color is rare, so they pay much more for it. And what shocks me is that these people actually sell their dogs. I cannot for the life of me understand how a person can sell their dog. That sentence does not even, it does not compute in my head. How does one sell their dog? How can I sell Ganga or Helga or Curry? So this is why I stay away from breeds that have been in the hands of these show people for a long time. The Doberman was the only breed available. The Belgian Shepherd was not available even a few years ago. Only now it has come to India in sufficient numbers where it is affordable to me. So I went for the Belgian Shepherd. Coming to the Rajapalayam breed, I doubt very much if I will ever get a Rajapalayam again. I got Bommi about 9 years ago from a small house in Rajapalayam. I went to a village near Rajapalayam, and she is not tall enough as far as the standards are concerned. Her tail is curled, so they'll say that that is not per standard. She has brown dots and all that. But I will not get a Rajapalayam in the future because of one simple thing. Any dog whose identity is based on how it looks is bound to be ruined. Because as I said, just like with foreign breeds, with native breeds also, these people who are so-called dog lovers, they call themselves dog lovers because they are more like dog collectors. Or I would call them people who love to be seen with dogs. They are not dog lovers, they are people who love others to see that they have a dog. Those people, they are again obsessed with getting attention. So what they will do is, if a Rajapalayam is 26 inches or 27 inches, then the next time it has to be even better. And they will breed knowing very well that the dog will be nervous or will be deaf or blind or whatever, and still breed 2 dogs. And any breed whose identity is based on the way it looks is bound to be, see, there she comes, is bound to be ruined. And most of the Rajapalayams I see, I would not want to own because they are not healthy dogs, they are not stable. And if you get a healthy and stable dog, no one is willing to pay for it. So breeders do not want to breed that. Breeders want to breed dogs that they can sell, and buyers want to buy dogs that will turn other people's attention onto them rather than having some utility out of the dog. So I don't think I'll go for Rajapalayam either or any other native Indian breed, because Kanni, again, it's first of all it's a hunting dog and people are obsessed with height, people are obsessed with the ears or the ears or color or whatever it is. So any dog which is bred to look a certain way has been ruined or will be ruined shortly. The question of mongrels. So I picked up Karigalan, right? Karigalan was a mongrel near my farm. His mother had been killed because she was killing sheep, and he was covering underneath a car. I felt sorry for him and I brought him. Would I get Karigalan again? I don't know. I love him to death. He is my child. But he is not a dog who likes to work. He is not a dog who likes to obey things. Obey what I say. He is not a dog who expects much out of me. To be very honest with you, this is the right sign. I think the most scientific way to put Karigalan's nature is that he is not a dog who sees much value in me. Of course he loves me. He wags my tail at me. He's an excellent guard dog. He is extremely healthy. He is low maintenance. He does not like to be inside. He always likes to be outside guarding. And I can say 100 good things about him. But he is not the kind of dog who thinks that I can give him something. So this in turn makes him highly difficult to train unless I start using punishment. And I don't want to use punishment because I love him too much. It is not so important for me that he does all the things I ask him to do. But I cannot have 4 Karigalans. It's alright if I have 1. I can deal with it, but I cannot deal with 4 Karigalans. So the problem with native dogs, or what shall I say, this mixed breed dogs, is that you don't know what you are getting. I'll explain it further. So to understand about mongrels, you have to understand what a bell curve is. A bell curve is what is called as a normal distribution. Most of the systems, natural systems, follow what is called as a normal distribution. So this bell curve, just look it up on Wikipedia or something. It goes like this. So there is mu, which is the mean, mu plus or minus sigma, which is the standard deviation, then there is mu plus or minus 2 sigma and all that. And in a purebred dog, that bell curve is very narrow. It peaks at mu, mean, and it fades off like this. You see, like this, and this is the around the mean, and it goes down like this. Whereas in a mongrel or a mixed breed dog, that curve is much flatter, like so. What it means is there is a large variation in character of the dog. That character may be physical character or mental character, but there is a large variation in character of the dog. So when it's like putting your hand into a basket full of fruits and you don't know what fruit you are going to get, because that basket is full of apples and oranges and pomegranates and all the kind of pears and plums and peaches. So if you are willing to enjoy any fruit you get, then it's okay for you to put your hand into that basket. But if you are just looking for an apple, then it is better for you to put your hand into a basket full of apples. So in effect, if you pick a mongrel, that mongrel can be exactly the dog that you want it to be, or it can be something totally different. If you are willing to accept that variation, then a mongrel is good enough. But having said that, if you just want a pet that you don't want to train too much, Karigalan can be trained to do pretty much all the things he needs to do inside the house. He's a very well trained dog, but I can't take him out to competition and all that. I like to compete with my dogs. So that is why I feel that Karigalan is not a good match. So I would not get a Karigalan again. I would not get a mongrel again. Okay, I want to tell a very, very important thing. Any dog that is not chained or caged or confined in any manner needs no training. In a few short weeks or within a month, it will learn all there is to learn to coexist with you. So any dog, any mongrel, any mixed breed dog, if you just live with it without chaining it, caging it, or isolating it in the balcony and all that, which we Indians do, I mean, the stuff we do is just nuts. This is why village dogs are so well behaved, because they never chain the dog, cage the dog. If the dog does something wrong, the villager will punish the dog. In a few short weeks, the dog learns how to live with the villager. There is no heel walk training for village dogs. If you go to our South Indian villages, you will see the dog following the owner. Now, how did that dog know? Because the dog's livelihood depends on the owner. If the dog does not follow the owner, the dog will die of starvation. So the dog knows which side of the bread is buttered. So the point I'm trying to make is, you don't need formal training if you just want a well-behaved dog. You just need to allow the dog to coexist with you without it being isolated or physically restricted in any way. Yes, it is a big pain for a few weeks, but that pain will pay off for the next few years or even a decade. Coming back to Belgian Shepherds. Why did I pick a Belgian Shepherd? Now, is this going to be the greatest dog in the world? No. There is no great dog. All dogs come with a set of problems. Okay? All dogs have problems. But if you know what those problems are, then it is much easier for you to deal with the problem. Or let me put it this way. If you know the chances of a problem, if you know which problems have a high probability of occurring, because there is no guaranteeing anything in any breed. You can take a Doberman and it may behave like a country breed. You can take a country breed and it may behave like a Doberman, but the probability of a Doberman behaving like a country breed is much less, and the probability of a country breed behaving like a Doberman is also much less. So what you are doing is, you are just hedging your bet. That's all you are doing. You are trying to increase the probability of the thing you want and decreasing the probability of the things that you do not want by choosing a purebred dog. All this thing about our desi dog and all that, it's quite laughable, because if you go to Belgium, the Belgian Shepherd is a desi dog for them. If you go to Germany, the German Shepherd and Doberman is a desi dog for them. All dogs are desi dogs in their days. So all this is, I don't know, I don't even want to waste my time commenting on that. People never say, I'm going to get a desi phone. Quite strange. They always want Samsung or Apple or something like that. They don't say, I want to get a desi car. They want a Suzuki or a Honda. But for some reason, when it comes to dog, they say, I want a desi dog. I don't know what that is about. It is what it is. It's a free country. People are free to do whatever they want. But the point I'm trying to make is, any mongrel can be as good as any other dog. Only thing is, you have to know that individual, and it takes about 2 years for you to know that individual fully. So after 2 years, if you realize that this is not the dog you want, now you are stuck with the dog that you do not want. So this is the problem with choosing a mongrel. But if you are okay with just a pet, then any dog is good enough for you, as long as you don't want to compete in obedience, or that dog may be brilliant enough, or it may have the drive to compete in obedience. You don't know. I'm not saying it will not, but the chances of that happening are more if you go to breeds that are purebred. And this is also not the correct statement, because if you take a purebred like Borzoi or Rajapalayam or Sippipare, they are not very good at, by nature they are bred not to want too much from their owner, like a bloodhound. I don't think you are going to win any obedience competitions with a bloodhound. So you have to pick a dog. That's why that list is important. That list of 10 things is very important. And once you make up that list, you know where to look for in a dog. See, I have a dog here about 2 kilometers away from here. He's a street dog. He's a wonderful dog. I have never seen a street dog like him before. He is so stable, so calm, strong nerves. He is not aggressive or friendly. Just a beautiful dog. And every time, of course, he's having a good life, he's quite healthy, but I wish that he was in a good home. But it is what it is. So there I see with my own eyes a dog that I would desire on the street. But he's 2.5 years old, and he's too old for me to pick up and integrate into my family. And I could not have known that ahead of time. This is the problem. So I hope that this video throws some light on my thoughts about picking a breed.